Sweet guys, we are headed out looking for a cool place to paint. I think I found, I've got one that I've been kind of scoping out. Pastoral scene, it's really cool. So anyway, it's a beautiful morning too, man. No clouds at all. Not that I don't like clouds, I think clouds are beautiful, but it's just a real clear morning. Sometimes clouds, they're cool. I love clouds. But sometimes if there's a lot of cloud and you're going in and out, in and out, in and out, with the sun being covered and then it not being covered and then not being dude, that is so frustrating. Landscape painting, because you end up chasing the light. Life is good. Did a little hot tubbing. Of course you didn't want that image in your head of me in a swimming suit. It was a Speedo, hot pink. Oh, last night, dude, sat down with the kids, watched a little Rocky 3. I haven't watched that forever, dude. True to form. Kids got all psyched up. I have 4 boys and a little girl, and I watched with the 3 youngest. They were so psyched. They were loving it. They're like, they heard that music. Then when he's fighting old Clubber Lang, bust you up. Go for it. Yo, Adrian, go for it. They were so psyched when old Rocky beat up Clubber Lang. That true to form. I think this happens in every generation. They see it. My kids just started beating the tar out of me after the movie. Hey, Dad, come over here. Just beating the tar out of me, man. It was hurtful. Felt like I had to get the mohawk. I got the mohawk. I actually got the mohawk so they could beat up on me. Then I shaved the rest of it off this morning. See? Just joking. I can't grow. I have a reverse mohawk. That's what I have. Just grows on the sides. Down the middle, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. So, anyway, it was a fun evening. They're now working out on the farm. And old Padre's going to go out and do some painting with you folks. So, it should be pretty fun. All right, we'll see ya. So we're at one of my friend's places, his property. He's got the creek that runs right through. Pretty cool looking. I thought we'd check it out. But this is part of the fun right here, dude. I haven't changed from the time, and I've probably mentioned this before, but I'm still a 10-year-old man, an 8-year-old boy. But yeah, just wandering around, enjoying life. Essentially being a kid. This is pretty sweet here. Look what I found. Samson. Find some cool stuff out here sometimes. Anyway, sorry animal. It's actually a yak. Probably getting a picture of my chest there. I hope you notice how muscular it is. Oh. Dude, for real. Dang. I think this is a good little spot right here. Might have to go in for a swim afterward, tell you what. But that's pretty cool. So I'm definitely going to paint somewhere around here. Finalized drawing. Take your time. Don't just, be a little thoughtful. Plus, the wandering around's fun. Again, like I said, it's like I have not changed since I was like a 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid. This is back in the day when you got to, let's put it this way, parents were called free-range parents. That's what they call them nowadays. Back then we just called them fun parents. That's kind of a derogatory term, but basically you could go play, or go be a kid, go explore, go see things. It was awesome. It was so awesome. I loved my childhood. And I grew up in Seattle, part of it, outside of Seattle, Seattle area, so I got to see a lot of cool outdoor stuff, Snoqualmie Falls, all that type of stuff. And we would just have a blast. We'd have an absolute blast. Riding our bikes around, wandering in the trees, catching frogs. And then I moved to Utah, dude, outdoors, just like Washington, pretty amazing stuff. And so I just wandered as a kid, and didn't have helicopter parents. Thank you! Because I got to do this weird stuff called fun. Have fun. And, fish, hunt, play, swim. This right here, this right here, that would have been like absolute party for us. We would have spent the whole day right there with no adults. No one would have known. To all the younger people watching, I know that sounds dangerous, but it was so stinking fun. Anyway, like I said, we're gonna check it out. Going around, we're gonna keep wandering and stuff and find the exact place to paint, but essentially it's going to be this area. But remember this, wandering around, that's part of the fun. Finding the place to paint, exploring, that's part of it, okay? So anyway. All right, first thing we're gonna do, remember, is draw shapes, and then we'll mix the colors we see, okay, with the correct value. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna do the colors first, okay? So here we go. I'm seeing some green, lots of it. A little ultramarine blue, a little cad yellow. And remember, all these, we're just doing puddles. We'll end up actually bending for all the little details. We'll bend them all out. Okay, put a little Viridian in there. Okay. So I see a lot of that actually. And there's actually quite a bit of red. Oh, that's too much. There's actually quite a bit of red in green trees. I know that sounds odd, but you can see it. Sometimes violet, sometimes more of a kind of a warm violet. But anyway, so I see the shadow right there. Now let's make this puddle nice and grab a little bit right here. And now we're gonna do the light side. Okay. The light side's gonna be warm, so we'll put a touch more yellow in it. I see a tad of orange, like just that warm. Okay, and I'm gonna lighten it up and use a gray. No, it's not too light. Now, the thing out here as well is there are people who are purists, go straight for exactly what you see, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. And then there are people who come out here and they use this as a springboard, essentially, into, there's my sky color, a springboard into creating something that is really conceptual. I mean, you're really making something up, but you're using what is out here. I listened to a video game designer one time, and he talked about how whenever they design a world and stuff like that, you have to design things that people are familiar with, right? You can't create a planet and have, no mountains, no sky, no water, no. So those elements have to be there. You can tweak them, to look like, Avatar, some weird fluorescent stuff, but still have to have those elements. So, they go outside and they do this type of stuff and just kind of get familiar with the scenery and then create their own world. So we're kind of gonna do that maybe a little bit. So I got the sky and this water is very violet with a little bit of green. Oh yeah, right there. Then we're gonna do the rocks. The rocks. The rocks are really, they're just There's some of the rocks. I'm gonna put a little bit of this gray I had previously mixed. By the way, the gray I had previously mixed, that's just grabbing all the colors from the last time I painted and mixing them together. Sometimes you can use them. They turn out to be pretty neutral. I need to lighten that though significantly. Man, those rocks are lighter than the sky. That is trippy. But it's weird, you know, again, you can go back to being, you can be purist, you can tweak things a little bit, but you want to stay within the laws of nature. In other words, you want to know what the crap you're doing. You don't just want to come out here and just go, ugh, I'm going to make a purple tree. Still need to know shapes, values, and edges. So, all right. So I think we're good. That's enough right there, yeah. So now we're gonna draw the shapes, okay? We're gonna do the design, okay? Here we go. All right, so let's draw. I'm just gonna take maybe a little transparent red oxide. That's pretty strong. I don't know if I necessarily need that. I can just do this. But anyway, and sometimes you can just do masses, but for sake of demo right here, I want to do, okay, so I want to do the linear, okay? Because I want you to get used to linear type stuff before you jump into just doing these masses. By the way, the masses obviously go a lot quicker. I mean, you can, and that's advantageous out here. That really is. But number one, we're not. Okay, now I'm gonna mess around a little bit with this, okay? I'm not gonna do exactly as I see it, but I'm gonna use what is out here. Oh, dude, this is gonna be sweet. I can tell already. Because I'm excited. Alright, so now let's put in these masses, doggone it. I love doing the masses. Here we go. So I'm gonna start out, some people start out from the back to the front. I always start out darkest, and then just kind of go from there. Boom. Oh, really? Dang, dude. Help me, Rhonda. So, remember, this is two-dimensional. This is flat. Flat, 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 flat. We are not at all. And sometimes I like to cover the whole thing. Some people like to leave the shadow patterns and all that type of stuff. I kind of like to cover everything and paint over it. Because then I'm painting into paint. And I don't know why, I just think I get a better result, me personally. Maybe other people don't, but, and that's cool. That's totally cool. All right, so I think we're finished. Okay. Anyway, it was fun. I learned a long time ago to just take your time when you're out here. It's about learning, and it's a blast. Right? Patience. Yo, Adrian. So anyway, you know, you come back into the studio and throw this sucker up. You can do a large painting from it if it turned out good, you like it. So basically, had a good time. Hope you did too. Get your paints out. Go paint. Talk to you later. Bye.